My name is Tracy. I've been a member of TU, probably over 30 years. Presently, I'm a member of the Al Hazard chapter in Binghamton, New York. Sherman Creek, as you can see behind me, is a beautiful stretch of water. It's not a very long piece of water, probably from its confluence with the West Branch, which is about 200 yards downstream from us, and about 200 yards upstream from us it goes out of New York into Pennsylvania for maybe another 4 or 5 miles, where it headwaters into the game lands, Pennsylvania game lands. It is not only a stream that provides pure crystal water to the West Branch, it also provides a perfect spawning habitat for the brown trout in the West Branch. And each fall, one of the things that I really enjoy watching is, I live about 2 miles upstream from here, is watching 15 to 20 brown trout school up just below the bridge by my house in October and early November in their spawning mode. A few years ago, I was approached by the Coldwater Conservation Corps of Trout Unlimited, a group that monitors watershed creeks in areas where gas companies would be doing fracking or probably be hydrofracking for wells in the future. When I learned that Hess Gas Company was preparing, putting in roads, putting in survey stakes within a quarter of a mile of this creek and tributaries to this creek for 2 wells, I volunteered to become a monitor in monitoring the water quality of this creek, getting base readings just in case there would be future problems with the hydrofracking procedure. There are several small little tributaries to each side of this creek, and unfortunately a few of those tributaries come very close to where gas companies have originally planned to drill their wells and do their hydrofracking. If drilling were to take place right on within these mountains we're looking at, right around my residence, right around Sherman Creek, it would have several impacts. Some of them would be beneficial, by no doubt, to many of the locals here. Living in this very rural area, I'm friends with several families here who cannot wait for the hydrofracking to begin for economic reasons. It's very difficult to make a living here. There's very little industry here, and I can certainly understand the needs and the wants of the locals here who support hydrofracking. On the other hand, the infrastructure here are mainly dirt roads, gravel roads, steep roads, most of them next to the creeks. I think there would be really, really severe environmental impacts. And it would essentially change the area into an industrial zone rather than a very rural zone. If hydrofracking were to take place, if the moratorium the Delaware River Basin Commission has placed on hydrofracking at this time were to be lifted and drilling were to start, I'd certainly like to see more setbacks from small streams like this. I don't think it's unreasonable to say anywhere there's seepage off the mountains into any of the tributaries here that lead into this Sherman Creek, that lead into the West Branch, that go into the main Delaware, affecting the fishery, affecting the drinking water, is unreasonable. It's just that I think everything is happening so fast and that it hasn't been thought out well enough as far as restrictions or regulations to date.